Okay, so we're back again. I've got a amazing young man next to me. And what we need for you to do right now so that we can keep bringing in these great guests is we need you to click subscribe. When you're doing that, it helps us quite a lot. Today, we've got the one, the only, Jacob. Jacob, how you doing?
I'm doing good, bro. How you doing, man?
I'm doing really good,
Bless,
man.
bro.
I'm liking the Gymshark t-shirt, bro.
Cheers, bro. No, thank you. Like, I just grabbed it like the first thing this morning. I was like, right, I need to grab something. Oh, I haven't wore this t-shirt for a while. Yeah, I'm gonna wear it. I haven't wore it today, so it's been a long time. Found it in the wardrobe. I thought I
love that.
It.
I love that.
Thing. Yeah.
How I bet it's a bit weird, isn't it? Now that I'm gonna interview you.
Yeah. No, it feels like, I think the very first video we did, when I did with John, like he said, "How does it feel?" And I said, like, the first time it just feels surreal because when you watch all these other podcasters, and you always have them. I don't know about you, but when you listen to it, or watch it, you feel like you're in the room.
Yeah, it's part of it, isn't it?
Yeah. So, and to get that opportunity now again, it feels really surreal. Even though it's like flip reverse. I mean, I've done it for a bit now. Yeah. It still feels a bit like surreal when someone goes, "Yo, let's do the other podcast." So I'm like, I still feel a bit.
Really, you get nervous over it?
Yeah, like not necessarily nervous. I would probably say just a little bit nervous. Yeah. But I think it's just more like, wow, someone's asking me to be on their podcast. Like that feels on it. No, it feels like privilege and feel like honor. Like I just feel like massive respect. So just thank you for just bringing me on. Thank you.
I feel like you're an interesting person, Bon. I think the way that you can put words together and the way that your expression towards life, more and more people need to see what that's about.
No, thank you, bro.
You know what I mean? So bringing you into our platform is like, it's my pleasure, bro.
Honestly,
you know what I mean? I'm grateful for you giving me the opportunity.
Oh, thank you.
So I'm going to dive straight in.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm not going to. Okay. I'm going to bring back something that we used to do before. So we used to play a lot of games on this podcast. So I've got a few would you rather questions in front of me that are pretty interesting, to say the least. And some of our guests that are listening would probably have a fight over it, I should say.
Fight?
You know, when they're sitting there with their partner and somebody would, it's one of them. So the first question that I'm going to ask you, the first, would you rather have the ability to fly, or would you rather have the ability to become invisible?
Fly.
Why?
Flying is sick, bro. Like, I think like a part of my head, just watching all this superhero stuff when I was growing up, it was just flying. And I can always remember, like, growing up, if I was like running late or like going for work, you're like, oh crap, I need my car. And you start panicking. And you just go, wait, I can fly. So I can literally just go, oh, I got 5 minutes left. That's fine. Then like just zoom in, be there. So I think fly.
Yeah, but if you're invisible, I could do the same thing.
Well, yeah, invisible.
I could be running late for work and then I could get into work. Boom.
You're like, am I late?
I'm here.
Was I late? No, but I think flight. I think first thing in my head, flight. Because I'm just thinking all the superheroes I've watched. You know, like Superman. Like obviously Dragon Ball Z.
Makes sense.
Flying, so I'm like, fly. Yeah.
Okay, the second question. Would you rather be able to speak all languages fluently or be able to play any musical instrument perfectly?
Oh, that's hard.
Really?
That's interesting. Like, I'll probably say play all the instruments.
Wow, me and you are different.
Mad. It was hard.
Mad.
Like,
how did you come to that conclusion?
I think like I've always liked learning different languages, and like, especially like walking around town, you hear people with different accents or just different language and stuff. So you can instantly, and like, especially around when you go to the gym and you hear people who like speaking a different foreign language, and you always want to know what they're saying. Yeah. So it'd be interesting to go, okay, I know what you're saying. So
the shock horror.
But I just think of just playing any instrument. I think I used to play the drums when I was little.
Okay.
Can
you still play now?
Nah, I haven't played in a long time. Okay. I think I stopped playing when I was about 13. I think I just stopped because obviously teenager, like, no, I'm good anymore. So I just stopped playing. But when like going to uni, like going to drama school and listen to other people play instruments, and like it's beautiful. Amazing. Like I can always remember drama school. like when you usually have to sing, like do singing lessons, and the pianist Kevin, absolute G.
Unreal.
Like he just like he just looked like your typical normal man, but you put this like sheet of music on, and he will literally just go play, not even like look, and he will just go that. And I can always remember, I think, when you kind of like cement yourself as I'm a badass, don't touch me.
Yeah.
I think during one term, our singing tutor got us to find a cappella versions of songs.
Yeah.
And obviously everyone did well, so they all know. But my mate Rosen, he couldn't, like, he found this a cappella song, and I think it was Mariah, I can't remember, but he couldn't get the note.
Yeah.
And the pianist was like, just sing like 2 bars of the song. And he went, okay. Played just off the cuff, and everyone literally just went, just staring at him. And everyone just went, sorry, Rosen, forget your singing, Kevin, that was brilliant. Like, even though Kevin is like, does this day in, day out, but just to come out of some instrumental within like 3 or 4 beats was sick. So, and just to relive like your musical fantasy dreams. Like,
I think musical instruments, like I play musical instruments, play bass, I play piano, and I can play drums a little bit as well.
Yeah.
And I think it's like a whole different language.
Yo, God.
You know what I mean? It's almost like when I'm playing, I'm in a whole different a whole different place, and things are happening that ultimately it isolates myself and society.
Yeah.
And it gives me that level of peace as well. So I can understand that. But I think for me personally, I would rather speak any language.
No, but yeah, it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I think like off the head, like playing an instrument, sick. But yeah,
imagine being in like Asda.
Yeah.
And like 2 French people over there having a conversation, and then they're talking about you, but they think that you don't know. And you just jump in like, je suis. And they're like,
yo, yeah.
Like
the eyes wide,
wide open. Yeah.
Like, oh my God, he knows.
He got me.
he got me. I think back to that. There was this one video, like this. I think it was this black guy. He went to Japan.
Yeah.
And like he's like, I've studied Japanese stuff when I was little. And he went to watch anime. I've learned how to language, and I've learned
crazy
to talk. I've learned to speak
fluently.
And he said he can remember he would just spoke. He just went down, and he obviously knew there was a couple of Japanese people just staring.
Yeah,
and just off the cuff, just trying to be like, "What's he doing here?" And he literally just went, and he said, I'm looking for. So he was genuinely lost, and because obviously he just wanted to see if people would respond to him well. And they said something, and he was like, I know they're being disrespectful to me. So he just whipped out something in Japanese, and they all went, yeah. And they actually was being legit nice to him, and he just went
crazy.
But it's like, I hear that still, and you just go, no, I can speak any language. You are no conversation is safe.
Yeah. Nothing is at all.
Nothing is safe.
Yeah,
bro.
so that's why I think
I like that. No, I like that.
So, bro, let's just dive into this, then, man. I want to spend these 20, 30 minutes with you, getting to know you, and letting everybody understand the conversations that we're about to dive into. Like, who are you, and what was that childhood like?
Who was I in childhood like? So obviously my name's Jacob. Yeah. I am 30 years old. Mixed race, so obviously my dad's black, my mum's white. Grew up around Dudley. Grew up in Dudley when I was about 7. Then I moved into Kings Winford, which is just only like the nicer side of Dudley. From 7 onwards, I've been living there the rest of my life, and I think it's just me. I'm quite laid back, open to suggestions and stuff, and I'm quite. Like, I think based on my characteristics, how my outlook on life has been thanks to like superheroes and cartoons and like films and stuff, understanding the difference between right and wrong, learning like valuable lessons in life. And I think like for me, I always like every t-shirt I've got is like childhood related, like all cars. Like I don't really have, like for those who know me, like I don't have any plain t-shirts. Like it's either gym wear or something with wrestling or something with cartoons or superhero related, and that's just connected to my childhood. I would say like my childhood was fine, absolutely lovely. Like, it wasn't mad. It was just I would say probably your typical family upbringing. Like mum and dad went to work, mum went to work, you went to school, did your normal 9 till 3, played PlayStation, then at dinner, did homework. So it wasn't really like, it was your typical generic childhood. But I think most of my childhood, it was literally like just always about play. And always trying to seek out play. I always want to play a lot. So again, even when on my own, I'm already thinking like superhero related or something, some scene from a film in my head. Or if I was in a film scenario, what would I do and stuff. So I've got a big imagination. So pretty much I would say I've just got a massive childhood and I haven't really grown up. Like my mom used to say, there's a saying like, show me the boy at 7 and I'll show you the man.
Wow.
And it's this theory where most children, especially boys, when they turn around about 7, they're pretty much made up of what they know, what they like, they know what they don't like, and they know when to get upset, when to get angry, and that's really hasn't transitioned, and they've stayed that way since as they get older. And whereas my mom went, whereas for you, it was 4. So I still get excited when Power Rangers comes on. I still get excited when Batman comes on, superhero related, anything like cartoon superhero related. I'm like, I'm in.
That's some of me.
I'm in. Like Disney films, like any Pixar, Disney film that comes on, I'm like, I'm watching that. I am watching that. And I like any cartoon films. I can remember the latest Puss in Boots film, Last Wish, brilliant film. And so I'll say to my mum, like, if I hear any youth that's just like chatting through that whole film, I will slap a kid up. And they're like, Mum, you can't say that. I was like, watch me. And then obviously you start talking about that family. Like, what if you get your own kids? What you gonna do then? And I'm like, I'll tell them to shut up. You know? And I'm like, end of the day, we're not watching it because you want to watch it.
Yeah.
It's my film. And then they go, well, what do they know someone from school? I'm like, you'll chat to them tomorrow. Do not acknowledge it. Just watch the film. Like, but what if they're in the toilet? Yeah, obviously take them to the toilet. But you sit in the screen, you sit in the seat and you just go, right, don't talk to me. Like, unless you are dying, don't talk to me. Like, I'm like that with my boys now. Like, if we go when we go to the cinema together, for certain film we watch, like, I do say to them, like, don't talk to me. Like, I've come in to watch this film. Don't talk. And I mean, if you're talking, yeah, it's fine. But if it's just like trying to be like all like emotional stuff, I'm like, talk to me after the film, bro.
You're very invested in.
I'm invested in this.
In what's in front of you right now. Yeah. You know, like how you say that you are very playful. Do you struggle to be serious?
I think it's a bit of mixture, because when I'm trying to be serious, I think a few people kind of go, are you being playful or not? And I think what it is, it's a little bit I kind of second guess myself, because I've always been trying to be the playful, jolly side. And when I'm trying to be serious with someone or say something, I always second guess it, because some people go, oh, you shouldn't say that, because they're kind of shocked for me to come out with certain things. And I'm like, no, I'm being serious. So I think I think me in general, I have to, like, I do find it difficult at times to be serious. Like, I'm still trying to be playful. There's days where I'm like, no, I'm being deadly serious. Don't talk to me. And I think that's when I'm down. I think when I'm quite in a happy place, I tend to like not get things get me down. But when I'm like either tired or just slightly down of energy, my serious mood comes out and I start becoming quite a bit more, not cutthroat, but just a bit more direct and go, no, you're doing this and stuff.
So are you saying that the only time that you can be serious is when you're having a difficult time?
I would probably say I'm only being serious when something's more challenging for me. So I'll probably say serious Jake comes out a bit more when he feels a bit stressed, when he feels a bit tired and stuff. Yeah. So I think it's normally when I'm like I think when I'm jolly, I'm happy, and I can be serious when I'm happy, but I'm still. You can
still playful,
still a bit of a playful. Like, now, come on, do it. But if I'm like, no, I'm being serious. Like I put my foot down, and like my tone of voice changes. So I think it's a little bit of. I'll probably say overall a bit of both.
Yeah. The reason why I asked you this is like, when we look at life and how life will push us into directions, we always rely on the comfort blanket. Yeah. And while communicating with you, it's very obvious that the playful side of you is extremely comfortable.
Yeah.
But when we look at how you want to put points across at times, if it's a serious matter, because that's not a comfortable seat that you've sat in for a period of time, that's a long period of time.
Yeah.
There's that, what if someone says this, or what if someone says like, that's a second guessing stage of yourself.
Yeah.
Now,
true, man.
when we rely on second guessing ourselves, we're slowing ourselves down.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So my question regarding all of this is, we're just now going to just take off this mask completely.
Yeah, go on then.
Full vulnerability.
Right.
Everything that we challenge today is just for our edification and to make us stronger. Have you ever suffered with your mental health?
I wouldn't say I suffered with mental health. I'll probably say I struggled with my identity, if that makes sense.
What do you mean by that?
So I think growing up, like I did grow up in a predominantly white neighborhood, obviously. So obviously, I said I lived in Dudley, I lived in Ivanhoe Street, and that was a quite heavily like multicultural area. But obviously, we moved out because my mum and dad was like, I don't want my kid, because the street we lived in was rough. So my mum and dad did the right thing. For any of the kids, like I'm getting my kid out of this place. And so growing up, going into an all white, pretty much nearly all white, predominantly white school, and just listening to people and stuff. And because I was a mixed race lad, and I think growing up in general, everyone's just got this stigma of who I am. They just see mixed race lad, and they just go, well, black. And I'm like, well, duh, yeah, obviously I'm half and half. But I think they have this persona that all mixed race people are the same, or like, obviously, because I didn't grow up in the environments. I grew up in a really nice suburb, and because I don't walk with a chip on my shoulder, I don't hang around with, I didn't have a crew. They just assumed that you were there, so they kind of look at you and go, "You're weird." And I think growing up, I think like the word identity was, and I hate saying, and really, I think the one thing I find offensive when people say to me, I'm blacker than you, that really hits me hard, because it's just like, I'm not trying to prove anything to anyone, but they just trying to say, well, because I probably listen to more Vibes Cartel, because I know more people from the ends, because I've got a bit more street savvy, that means I'm blacker than you. And I'm like, no, being black is just being human. Black is just skin is just a color. Why your attachment with certain things, and it really bugs me.
So you know what we're identifying here now? This second guessing behavior.
Yeah.
From the get go, because you said that your dad is black and your mom is white, and the world will see it as dual heritage.
Yeah.
You're already second guessing yourself. Am I black? Am I white?
Yeah.
Because the white people will say that you are black.
Yeah.
Some black people will say you're not black, which is the conversation that we're having now. Yeah. So the second guessing is relevant to that childhood, because many people that have sat in this chair, and we've stripped it right the way back to the core. The person you are now is from that childhood experiences. And you've spoke about this as well, from the age of 7 up. In theory, if you don't deal with it, you can keep holding on to things that are no longer holding you anymore.
True.
You know what I mean? It's almost like being in prison. You've done your time already. You've got no more chains on you. Now go. You know what I mean? But at times, because we've been in that position for so long, we've sat in that chair and it's comfortable because it's been a position that we understand completely. It's very easy to attach our identity. Because we haven't got an identity yet to whatever they tell us that we are. And I can see that struggle, man. It's interesting. I was literally having a conversation this week with somebody about the same said topic. About mixed race or dual heritage, you are what you are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like, I love that. But the thing is, like, I think the worst thing, and I think it was during drama school. So, like in third year, I don't know. I think it was during the year when the people, what do you identify as? And I'm like, what do you mean? And then like, oh, man, woman. I'm like, well, I'm a man. I'm straight. And then, oh, so what are you? This is like basically, so in drama school, like in third year, you have agency meetings to represent you. So obviously you get to do the films, TV shows, theatre and stuff.
Okay.
And I can remember this one, and you know, like, I think this one, and all I can remember, I did not like his attitude. He just sat down like that and just went, oh, so what are you? And I just went, and I thought, you mean, what am I? And I was like, when I went, well, I'm from Birmingham, not from Dudley. When you say to people outside Dudley, you say, I'm from Dudley, they're looking like, what the hell's Dudley? And you're like, it's Birmingham. Birmingham. And he goes, and he went, so what are you? Then I'm like, well, what the hell you mean? And he goes, so what are you? And I went, you mean my heritage? He went, yeah. And I went, well, black, white. Then one person, do you identify as black, white or white, black? And I was just like,
is that actually a question?
Yeah, one person asked me that before, and I went, no, I'm mixed race. Like I'm proud of my heritage. I really am. It's just, I think some people just want to have that little bit of like and I think the way I see it is they feel a little bit inferior when I'm like, no, I'm mixed race. I'm black, I'm white. I love who I am, but don't put a spin on like, do I classify as the black side or the white side? I don't know. I'm proud of both.
Yeah,
and I think sometimes as well when you start talking to friends and stuff, and like you trying to engage with people, and like I think some people when they see me first, they think, oh, he's gonna chat like Wagwan G and stuff, and I'm like, no, I'm like, you're right, mate, and they're like, I don't get that. So, and then they start saying all these things like, oh yeah, I'm blacker than you, and I think like my friend, and so I said to my friends like, you don't know how offensive that actually is. And they're like, no, it's not offensive. I'm like, yes, it is, because you're saying I can't be who I am. But I think because in their head, some of them will just think, well, I'm not saying the N-word. I'm like, no. Like, I'm like, that, like, to me, that is just as worse as that, because you're saying I can't be who I am. And it is like I think from that, the second, like you said, the second guessing comes into play a lot, because if I do, sometimes I'm like, am I being too black, or am I being too white, or am I being too kindful, or am I being too restricted with people? So I'm always like having this battle in my head,
push and pull.
Yeah, push and pull. So I'm like, then sometimes I do one thing, and you can hear people going, you shouldn't say that, and I'm like, all right, pull back a bit. But then when people then people go, no, say what you want, say what you mean, and deliver it. Then I'm like, okay, one group saying don't do that, the other group is saying do that. So what do I do? Because it still bugs me.
The only people who will understand this correctly are the people who live it every day.
Yeah.
So I will have my interpretation of this, and my interpretation of this is I don't understand it. Like, you know, like I'm a black person. Like I physically will never know what it feels like for yourself. The same way you will never know what it feels like for me. The same way, you know, white people will never understand it either. So when I look at people who, you know, to give you advice, I would listen to the people who are and understand what you're on about. You know what I mean? Like in my eyes, I've always looked at it as black people, white people. You know, and it's only until recently, really, and having this conversation with you, so it's a massive insight for me.
Yeah.
You know, and it makes me like, the biggest thing about things like this, bro, are being able to not only feed people who are watching, but feed myself as well, bro.
Yeah, that's what it should be.
I'm all about communicating points. You know what I mean? And communication is the most important key to successful relationships.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That relationship doesn't have to be anything other than a friendship.
Yeah.
But to nail that, you have to be able to communicate.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel that struggle. When we're speaking with you and seeing it firsthand from your mouth, like I see it, I feel it, and hopefully we can bring a level of insight to people who are watching this as well.
Yeah,
because
I love that.
you know, you're the first one ever to come on here, bro, and say something so heartfelt, bro. Like,
cheers, bro.
you know what I mean? This is a real life thing that you battle every day, and all we're doing here is identifying what's happening and who is Jacob.
Yeah.
How was Jacob framed into this young 30-year-old man that sits in front of me now? Do you get me?
Yeah,
man. We're touching, man. We're touching. Let's keep pushing, man. So, what's like the most difficult thing that you've ever faced in life, or one of? Because you speak about the identity and your identity being a struggle. Do you think that that's the hardest struggle that you've faced so far?
Yeah, I think it's like I think the way I can imagine it, like, I don't know about you, but when you watch like films or TV shows or piece of theatre and you see a character and you're literally going, I understand exactly what that person's going through. The only way I can describe it is because I've been rewatching them again, is Dragon Ball Z. And you know Gohan, don't you? You know Gohan? You never watched Dragon Ball Z? Bro, you need to watch Dragon Ball Z. Anyway, so first of all, Gohan, but the ones who know who Gohan is, they'll know. But Gohan is a mixed race character. So his dad's a Saiyan, and his dad's a Saiyan, which is an alien, and his mom's an Earthling, so he's half mixed race. Me. And like throughout the whole TV show, they keep teasing how strong he really is, because there's moments he has this big energy moment, then just like a flash, it goes. But everyone keeps going like, no, there's something special there. There's something there that he just doesn't know yet. It hasn't awakened yet. Then obviously as every season goes by, he gets better and better. Then the recent season, it was basically someone's pushing him to the edge. He's pushing him like he's torturing his friends and family in front of him, and he's like, "Go on, snap!" And he's still like, "I don't want to. I'm holding back." Then the last person, like this robot, he's literally like, "I know you've got it. Just let go." And then the bad guy kills the robot and goes, "You could have saved him," and he just snaps. And then like the whole rupture, everyone just like, "What's that?" And like even then, when you see him transformation, you just see tears just coming down his eyes, because he's like, "I don't want it." He's like, "I've been pushed to the edge, and like I feel I'm getting close to find my full potential." I think that's how I'm not seeing it as a negative. I'm seeing it as a positive. Like there's like a beast within me. I just need to keep find something to push me to make it unlocked, because I see that, like I hear the pain in his scream, the pain where he's like, "I don't know how to, I'm doing my best to let go, but there's always a little bit of me."
What do you think that is that's holding you back?
I think it's self-doubt.
See, the key here is, I'm a massive believer in this. You ask the right questions, you'll get the right answers.
Yeah.
The answer is always in us. So when we speak, we no longer say think, we claim it.
Yeah, you just say off the cuff.
So it's self-doubt, yeah?
Yeah.
What else is it?
Self-doubt, I think belief in me. Like, when people promise me something, I'm always on the fence, because the back of my head's like, yeah, but what if it doesn't work?
So when you were younger, who let you down?
Yeah.
Do you remember it? If you remember it, that's all.
No. I do remember who's let me down a bit. Probably say my dad's probably let me down a bit. So.
Have you forgive him?
Nah, not really. Nah.
So for us to move forward, you have to go back.
Yeah.
Address the problem.
Yeah.
And make peace with it.
Yeah, I think
difficult, innit?
It's difficult, and I think for me, I've tried to make peace. Like, I think in back of my head, when I explain the full story of what's going on, I think about me was like, I do try, but he keeps but then like it comes back to where he started. So I'm like, there is no point. There's no point. I feel I can't. I try, but the back of my head's like, it's just like kicking a dead horse. There's nothing there, and I think I've made peace with that. But I think sometimes as well, it's a little bit of like just asking for forgiveness. Like I still feel like I need to say sorry and apologize to people. I didn't do anything like bad that way, but I think it's just, I think there's days where like even with my relationship with my brother, I think I feel responsible for what's happened to him. And like there's days where I do sit there and obviously I do think about it an awful lot. Like obviously you put from God, yeah, it was first 10 minutes, like, but deep down I'm like, I feel I'm partially to blame for it. So I think it's a little bit of just self-doubt, self-belief, and like I hold myself way too high at times. Like I expect perfection all the time. Even though in my head, and I say it to my clients that perfection's bullshit. It's unattainable, because if everyone was perfect, the world would be in a better place. You will have the life you wanted, and you will realize how not as bad as not great that life is. And I say it, I've got better at dealing with handling not getting perfected. But I can always remember my mum was saying, right, even when I was little, if I didn't like, even it could be like a toe out of line to my standards, I'd be like, nah, it's crap. I don't want to do it. And I think it's that perfection. Like I still strive that I want to do it right the first time, even though that is literally impossible. But the back of my head's like, no, go on. And I think it's just struggling with perfection, which leads into self-doubt, which leads into self-belief, because there's days where I'm like, I don't think I'm good enough. You know what I mean?
Ask the right questions, get the right answers. So when we look at perfection, you said that you're seeking for perfection in every action that's taken. How's that going?
Really not good, to be fair. I think, like I said, I have that high standard, and you look back and I have battled my head, and I'm like, I don't really need to be. There's no such thing as perfect. Like, just be better.
Just that's it, bro. Improve. That's it.
Yeah,
that literally is it.
Yeah,
like similar. That's such a similar position. Like I remember, I went through a phase where I literally thought I had to just go in myself, bro, and I just said to myself, "Yo, I forgive everyone that's ever done me wrong," because it was eating me, bro.
Yeah,
like, bro, it was eating me. I wasn't sleeping. I'm hot sweating. But I'm on it. Like, I can't even explain in any other way. I'm like, when I see you, it's time. That type of mindset, you get me. And I'm looking at things that have happened, and I'm saying that shouldn't have happened to me.
Yeah.
How can that happen to me? Are you mad? Me? That happened to and no, nah. Bro, it was eating me, bro.
Yeah.
So I'm just at a little bit of a different position to where you are now. You're like a little step behind me, just a little bit behind. I've gone through that phase of where I've forgiven people who have done me wrong.
Yeah.
I've gone through that phase where I have apologized to people who I did wrong. And now I walk in the position of, I'm not perfect, but I'm improving daily.
Yeah.
So the energy we give off now, it's still pure.
Yeah.
Everyone has their down times. I no longer claim it a down day anymore because I haven't got days to be down. Because if my energy's correct and I'm around the right people, why am I down?
True. No, I love that.
I will have a moment where it is now becoming a character building moment. It's building the person that I'm meant to become.
Yeah.
But I no longer claim it as a down day. You think I'm wasting 24 hours?
Yeah, no,
in a place that don't make me feel good?
No, I love that.
Are you mad?
Yeah. No, I love that. No, I love that.
For you, as we challenge this position in life that you're at, it is about go back a bit, rewind the curtains, address what needs to be addressed, and watch who you become. You don't need the push. The push is pull back, go back and look at who you were and what happened there, and that's the only push you need. Deal with deal with the problem. No longer plasters anymore, because it's very easy. Like an expression of a kettle. When you are a busy individual and we boil a kettle, let's bring it right the way down to basics. When we boil a kettle, and you've put a litre of water in that kettle, and you have 11 cups, and you can only give 100 millilitres per cup, but there's 11 cups. What you're going to do is you're going to give out 10 people. And as a human that you are, your mindset is the 11th cup is yourself. So all you're pouring into your cup is steam. There's no hydration. You finished off what you're doing. And this is why I'm very protective about my own energy, bro. Yeah. My clients, I'll do everything for them, but I will never put them before me anymore. I have to be first.
Yeah.
Because if I don't look after myself, if I don't put 100 milliliters of water into myself, how can I help them?
Yeah.
It's impossible. So I must tell them, perfection is not a thing. But I'm telling myself it is.
Yeah.
That makes you a hypocrite.
Yeah.
That basically means you're second guessing yourself again.
Yeah.
So this daily circle, this daily wheel that you're on, the only person that can change that is you.
Yeah.
And the way to change that, in theory, as we said multiple times today, you ask the right questions, you get the right answers. The answer's always in us, and you know the answer to that. And it's not about, I think it is, it's, this is what it is now.
Yeah.
And almost like, how you said that white people have a certain thought path on how you're going to speak to them. Like Wagwan and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But then when you shock them, so hear this now. So now when you shock yourself and you no longer think, I can't do that, but you actually just do it, that shock horror that will follow from yourself, the first time that you do it, you will be surprised, but the second time, it's now normal nature.
Yeah, and I hear, and I love that, and I think you feel free. That makes sense. I can always remember. I was at one of the gyms, and what was the girl? And like, obviously, I was with one of my mates, and they were like, "Oh, how are you?" I was like, "Yeah," and my mate was like, "Yeah, I'm good, man." And they're like, "Who's this fella?" And he's like, "Oh, it's my boy Jay." And she thought I was going to act like similar to him. And I was like, "You're right." And she's like, "You what?" But then my other one, and I can always remember this. Like, obviously, again, we're at the gym with one of my boys, and he bumped into one of his mates from like he knew at college, and they're like, "Yo, what's man saying?" He's like, "Yeah, man's all good." And they're like, Who's your brethren? Oh, that's Jay. And then I'm like, "You're right, mate." And they're like, "Yo, who's this man?" But then obviously they see me around the seat. I'll go to that gym quite a bit more. And they're like, "Oh, my man!" Like, yeah. So they're all smiling, and that feels great. And I'm like, I'm just being me. That's just genuine me. I'm not putting a front on.
Yeah.
And like, so me and one of my closest mate, Cal, like, we just done it as taking a mick. We just did it, just taking the mick, because we went to the same. We worked the same together. We worked at Game, and like we were the diverse members of the staff, and we just took the mick out of it. Like, "Oh, man's not doing this. Take it." We just did it as a joke. But when you start doing it, and me and him just it just came off the cuff. But then like everyone else started to copy, and like, well, I'm just being my genuine self,
and that's the powerful bit.
Yeah, and you feel so free, because you're like, I'm being me. I'm not putting a show on. I'm not doing an act. It's just me. And I think people do see that a lot when they really know me. I think my favourite moment is like my mum back at drama school. We did a show, Days of Significance, as an army play, and I'm in my element, because I'm in like army aware, and I've got guns and stuff. So I'm literally thinking I'm in the battle mode. So I'm like proper in character, and what is it? One of my drama mates was sitting next to my mum. Obviously, they didn't know it's my mum, and they're like, "God, he's acting so on point." And my mum's like, "Shut up! He's just playing." Like she just stared and going, "Was you actually acting? Was you playing?" I was like, "I was just playing." I was just literally told to hold a gun. Obviously, I was playing the sergeant, and I was telling my fellow actors what to do. Obviously, it's a scene, but majority of my head, I'm like, I'm holding the gun. I'm back to 4-year-old again. So mum was like, "You weren't even acting. You were just being yourself." And I think when people see me around, they're like, "Yeah, you're just this big twit." Like I probably like. Mum said if I was a dog, I would be like a golden Labrador. Just big, playful idiot.
It's given. This has given me and a lot of people a massive insight into you, man. And I'm excited to record part 2 with you.
Yeah,
I think this is such a soft entry into who you are as a person.
Cheers, man. Thank you, bro.
I just want to say thank you, bro.
No, thank you.
Yeah.